Hello everybody and welcome to The Long Dark. So this is a new series that I'm going to start, and before I get started there's a couple things that I need to say. First things first, this game is still in alpha. I backed this game months ago and I've been waiting very patiently ever since for this game to become alpha and even beta, and I backed enough to be able to get an alpha code of it, and I've been waiting for this game for a very long time, but it was well worth the wait. It is such an amazing game, so you're going to play it here in a little bit, but I got a couple of things to go over first. First things first, if you are interested in this game, you still can pre-order it. You're not going to be able to get the alpha, but I believe that they are going to do early access on Steam. So if you want to pre-order it, you can go over to thelongdark.com. I will include a link in the description, so you can head over there and check the game out. And you can pre-order it if you want. It's really cheap. I believe it's about $20 just to get the game, and I believe it's about $30 to get the deluxe edition where you get artwork and a bunch of other stuff. So the studio behind this game is Highlander Studio. This is a new studio, but every team member of this studio, there are some very impressive names to this team. They've worked on games like the Far Cry series, Uncharted, just so many games. It's a new studio. This is their first game that they've made together, but the games that they've been behind are just insane. So I've played this game a little bit. I've played it for a couple days, so I can kind of get used to it and learn it and understand how to play it, so that way when I do play it, I understand it can be a little bit annoying watching somebody learn how to play a game. So I kind of understand the game. I don't know if I'm just not very good or this game is just very difficult, but I have not been able to survive for very long. So we're going to see how it goes. The first episode is probably going to be me showing the menus and all that sort of stuff and how things work and how you can do things. And then we're just going to see how long we can survive. And if you guys do like this series, I will continue it and we'll go from there. So first things first, this is the menu screen. Apparently, if you don't move the mouse for long enough, everything will go away. So this is Sandbox Alpha version 1.065, and the reason why it's Sandbox is there is a storyline to this game, but it is not available in Alpha. So you can only do Sandbox. Also, if you ever get to the point where you can save a game by sleeping, you can load back into it. You also have options. You have all these options. I actually need to turn that down. So we have audio, you have display, and you can change your units from Imperial to metric, depending on where you're from, and controls. So that is a sound that is terrifying while in the game. So with all that said, again, if you guys are interested in pre-ordering this game, the link will be in the description to the website. You can go pre-order it now. You can check it out. I highly recommend this game. It's very, very, very entertaining. And the art style of it, at what you can see right now, is just beautiful. So anyway, enough talking. Let's go ahead and start a new sandbox. So you are a bush pilot, Will Mackenzie. A mysterious geomagnetic storm has brought your plane crashing down into the northern wilderness. You must survive long enough to understand how the world has just changed. Again, the content you are about to experience is alpha gameplay from the Long Dark Survival Sandbox. So here we are, in the game. So a little bit about this. Oh, nice. We have a little bit of a nice start, but the wind seems to be quite heavy. So a little bit about this map and everything. The map, to my understanding, is not procedurally generated. It's not randomly generated. It's a fixed map. But I believe the spawn locations, time, and weather, I believe, are all sort of random. So that menu I will explain in a little bit, but let's go ahead and try to get a little bit out of the weather here. We don't want our condition to go down too far, and I'll go into more of an explanation on what that is in a second. So as you can see, we're in kind of a logging area. This game is set in the north, we're in the logging camp. This game is set in northern Canada. So we're going to just go ahead and enter the door. All right, so we're inside. Now, once we're in here, we have all these great options when it comes down to we can rummage through these bins, and we found some wood matches. It really helps us start fire. Beef jerky, something else that'll help us. And we'll pretty much just go through this place and try to pick this place clean of anything that might help us survive. Oh, we hit the mother lode. We got a crowbar. That's amazing. A crowbar is very handy for opening locked lockers. We also want to check under the beds. You never know. Might be something under the bed. Oh, we have a lantern. That's really nice. So all the spawns and starts are random about time, weather, location, but the map is fixed. Unfortunately, though, because it is an alpha, I'll go ahead and open up this screen. This is sort of your interactive condition and everything screen. It tells you how long you survived. It tells you what the temperature feels like, what the air temperature is, what the wind chill is, and it also tells you your clothing, because clothing does make a difference. It also tells you the wind and how fast and what direction it's coming out of and the condition of the weather. This on the right-hand side is the condition of your actual person. So the fatigue, the cold, the hunger, the thirst, the calories per hour, and the calories stored. Very important information when trying to survive. So some of these things up in the top here are not working. Snow shelter is not available in alpha, as well as map. So I guess in the game they will have a map, which will really help out. In the alpha, you don't have that, so it's actually kind of adds a little bit of a little harder dynamic to the game when you don't really have a map. You got to kind of focus on where you've been. You can start a fire. You can do first aid. You have a bedroll, so where you can sleep if you don't have a bed available to you. You can harvest old clothes that you don't need, or tools or anything, and you can also repair tools that you need. You can also kind of go on and auto forage wood, which is actually really nice. You set that for an hour. The screen kind of goes dark. We'll do that in a minute. So, but we can also go into the inventory, which you can also access by just hitting the I button. And in here is your inventory, everything you have on you. Clothes, to food, to tools, to flares, to bandages, to everything you need. You can also sort by condition or weight or whatever you want. You can also sort by type: clothing, first aid, food and drink, material, tools, and others. So it's really easy to kind of see what you have and see where, well, we got a down ski jacket, so let's go ahead and we're going to put that on. So there is one thing about this game, and again, it's in alpha, so things might change, is I can hit tab to bring up this menu. I can then hit I to bring up the inventory. The one thing I wish I could do is I wish I could hit tab again to go back to the previous menu that I was at, but I can't. I have to close it out and I have to hit tab again. There's only things that I would change about this game that are very, very, very minor. And for this game to be an alpha, it's really, really well made. Also, just to let you guys know, this game can get very, very dark. And I understand for the purpose of YouTube and the purpose of viewing, it can be sort of difficult. So I will try to do my best in post-processing to brighten the game up when needed. So I'm going to apologize if some things are a little bit hard to see at some points. I also understand on mobile users, it's kind of hard to see. A little suggestion, go ahead and crank the brightness on your mobile device. That will allow you to see a little bit better. So we got some supplies from that first cabin, so we're going to head over to this one and see what else we can find. It's pretty much all about just gathering as much as you can and trying to really keep that condition down. You don't want to get up. You want to keep your condition up. You want to make sure that it doesn't drop down. We're going to go ahead and turn a lantern on here so we can kind of just see what we're doing. It's really nice that you can place lanterns too. It's very, very handy, but although lanterns do not last as long as you would like them to, I've learned that from experience. So reclaimed wood, we can use that later on to start a fire, or at least fuel a fire. There's a lot of things that you're going to need to start a fire, and there's also a pretty low percentage chance of you actually starting a fire depending on your fire starting skill. So we're going to kind of rummage through these these cabins and see what we can get. Luckily, we're getting a lot of canned food, but the problem with that is we don't have a can opener yet. So we have all this canned food, and we have no way of opening it. So that's going to be a bit of an issue. Looks like this place is pretty much cleared out, so let's go ahead and pick up our lantern, turn it off, put it away, and let's head over to the last cabin. So, we want to make sure that we give ourselves enough time. Let's go ahead and check. It's 11 a.m., which is good. Pretty windy out here, but the condition is clear. So, the temperature, as you can tell, it feels like -7 degrees Fahrenheit. Air temperature is -7, but the wind chill brings it up to -26. So, it's quite cold. Hopefully, we can find some more. There is a wolf over there. That is something that we need to be very, very concerned about. Because wolves are probably the easiest way to die. They're very, very tough. And without a weapon of any sort that I've been able to find, they are very, very tough and can really mess you up. So, we're going to go through this cabin, and we're going to search through everything we possibly can. Got to make sure to check under the beds as well. Well, here's something. So we found basic boots, so we want to go into clothing, and we want to check the condition and the warmth bonus of these clothes. As you can see, the boots that I'm wearing are 100%, and they bring me a 1.8 Fahrenheit boost in warmth bonus. So these basic boots that I just picked up aren't better. Luckily, we found a can opener. That really helps us out. So what we can do with these old boots, I'll go ahead and show this now. We can hit the tab menu, we can select harvest. We can then go to the basic boots that are 76% down here, and we can harvest these boots and it'll take up some leather. Although, as you can tell, our calories do go down. The more activity you do, the more things that you do, the more calories you burn. Calories are a big thing in this game, and you can get very hungry very quickly, and that, of course, is not ideal. So we're going to keep rummaging through this cabin, and we found a new, I believe this is a hat or a scarf. Again, this company is, I'm not sure what you would call this exactly, but all I do know is that this is a lot warmer than what I'm currently wearing, so I'm going to go ahead and switch that. We also found a heavy wool sweater, and it's going to be a lot better than our thin wool sweater that we were wearing. So we're going to go ahead and put that on. So another thing that I want to show off before, we'll pick up a simple toolbox, really nice. Some more, this is really good. Cedar firewood. It increases the time of a fire dramatically, and it's good to get through the night with one of those. So I think this place is pretty cleared out, but before we go off back into the cold, I'm going to do a little bit more crafting here. So, I'm going to harvest the thin wool sweater that I was wearing, and I'm going to get one cloth from that. Again, it's going to burn up some calories, but it's worth it because I can spend that cloth on repairing one of my clothes, and I can get the warmth back up. So we're also going to harvest this old piece of clothing here. So, now what we want to do is I'm going to check my inventory menu, and I'm going to see... Apparently, I picked up some socks that I wasn't wearing, so we're going to put some socks on. So I'm going to check the condition. It looks like my jeans are doing pretty bad. Seems like my jeans and my gloves, I'm going to worry about my jeans. They're 22%. So, we're going to go into repair, and we're going to select jeans. They're 21%. We're going to select, it's going to use up a cloth, and we have a simple tool, which will actually, these are all your chances of success, how long it'll take, just everything you need to know, your repair skill. But because I'm using a simple tool, the chances of success are higher. So we're going to go ahead and start repairing. Hopefully I won't fail, because it is still a 60% chance, and I did fail. As you can see, the simple tool did get damaged during that process, so I'm going to try again and hopefully get it. Really hoping this pays off, and it did. Good. So now, let's go ahead and check. As you can see, my repair skill increased, and my jeans are now at 41%. It's a lot better than 26, but it's still not great. We need to check on our calories. We are getting thirsty, so we are going to need to go out and start a fire. and hopefully stay clear of the wolf that we saw earlier.